Chris Charlton for KaijuPop.com, and this is Record Runner on iOS, coming to us from Harmonix. Harmonix, they've dabbled with iOS stuff before, but this is their first sort of original and fully fledged gamey game thing, as opposed to music creation thing, on the platform. And as the name might suggest, this is an auto runner, not of the endless variety. It has an end, and as you might expect, because this is Harmonix, of rock band fame, and all the rest, frequency, amplitude, all of that. It's music focused, and let's see. I'm just going to scroll down the bottom of here and see the track list that I have. There's a few songs. We're going to get into the structure of it, but it's free to play. You get the game as it is with 4 songs in it. These are they, and they're all kind of Harmonix's in-house bands. And basically, let's play this so you can see what it's like. There's perks, but screw that. What it is it's an auto runner with a musical balance to it. Everything, the levels, the obstacles, the timing involved, it depends on screw that up. It depends on the sort of the rhythm of the music. So fast, heavy hitting pieces of music will be harder in theory to play than more sort of chill stuff. This track is fairly easy so far. And yeah, I should say probably, full disclosure, the capture software we're using will mean that there's a little bit of lag in what's going on, so if the sounds and the visuals don't quite match up, then that's why. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Everything by and large, if you do well, you get this cool fancy mode. I've triggered a power-up here where if I follow the lines that it suggests, if I swipe to the left, at the times it tells me to swipe to the left, and I keep on doing that well enough, then I get a big bonus. I want to collect these records. If I run into obstacles, then I fail, fairly obviously. And it's all fairly innocuous. It's the usual stuff: swipe left, swipe right, change lanes, swipe up to jump, swipe down to slide. By and large, the controls are reliable. Sometimes I've had sort of strokes not be recognized correctly. It was a little bit late and I might screw up here if I don't find some health. But it's a fun, as you might expect, endless runner. And I think there are plenty of rhythm games on iOS, and there are plenty of running games on iOS, but the fact that this is both of them together kind of, I think the music element sort of perks up the runner's aspect of it, and the running aspect of it sort of perks up the rhythm aspect of it. So, they both kind of go together quite well. But that's not all that this game is notable for, as we're gonna probably find out soon enough, if this track ever finishes. It's also pretty hard to do this and talk at the same time, so that's my excuse anyway. And where the free-to-play comes in is in 2 parts. First of all, I'm picking up all these records, and that is the sort of, hey, this is the currency that you get a lot of in-game. And you don't use these records for much. I mean, you can buy perks. Well, I've screwed up here, but I have completed the mission, but I failed out on the song there. And you also get these, so let's explain this backstage pass stuff as well. So you get records, which is mainly used for cosmetic stuff, like changing what your runner looks like and getting a couple of perks, as you saw at the beginning of a song. But also you have let's quit out here. The usual means the usual other currency, which is the backstage passes, which I have 2 of in the top there. As with a lot of auto-running games, you have these missions that, give you certain tasks, and 3 stars on a song, play 4 different songs, jump over 100 obstacles, and that kind of thing. And they slowly earn you backstage passes, or you can buy more backstage passes. Also, in some regions, this game has ads. But if you make one in-app purchase, then it gets rid of all of the ads. So there's that. In that sense, it's free to play. But there's no energy system involved or anything like that. What you use the backstage passes for are either to continue a song from where you failed, so there where I fell down, if I wanted to pick up where I left off, I could spend a backstage pass, or I can use it to expand the song list. So if I go into play here, the trick with this is that it's kind of like Vib Ribbon was on the PS1. If you ever played that very old, sort of pre-Endless Runner, where you could put your own CDs into the game. And the trick with this is that you can import music from your own audio library. So I'm going to get rid of a few songs here just to make some space, right? And when you just get the game originally, you can, there's room for a couple of tracks of your own to add in. But you can spend your backstage passes to add a song slot. 3 backstage passes adds another slot in at the top. Okay, and that song can be anything from your library. So I'm going to show you my library here. So you're going to see the kind of things that I'm into here. And let's see. I'll try and pick out some stuff that might come across on video, but won't get us a copyright claim. So let's see here. Let's see. Let's go with Fucked Up, because I'm pals with Damien Abraham, so I'm sure he will let me off. Right. Some tracks, for whatever reason, okay. I had a duplicate, so that kind of screws it up. And some tracks kind of have a certain kind of DRM in them that mean it doesn't really work. But those seem to be kind of few and far between, as far as I know. So it's like the orb here that won't work. But let's see. Let's go down to. Oops. Screw up the. Of course. Let's pick up this classic. Hacksaw Jim Duggan with USA here. And these songs, I'm free to do with these what I want. I can, before I play them for the first time, I can choose to delete them and swap them out if I want to. But once I've played them once, then they're locked into my track list. So there's the thing. If you want to unlock the ability to play more songs from your library, but you don't want to grind the levels, then you pay a little bit of cash. And it's really not a big deal. I kind of think that's a pretty nice structure. Let's not do that. Let's go into this musical classic. Simon Cowell produced, of course. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's got his 2x4 and the American flag. Oh. This is the jam right here. Well, no, obviously it's not the Jam, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but every track a winner on the 93 WrestleMania CD. Hacksaw Jim Duggan beats people up. This also the album that contains the classic Tatanka, Buffalo. Bret Hart singing a ballad. There's never been a good time to say goodbye. Randy Savage making his recording debut. Of course, he would later go on to record a rap album. And try to have a bit of a rap beef with Hulk Hogan. True facts. Hacksaw Jim Duggan beats people up, remember that. Up, up, up. I like the idea of just people on the street, everybody, bikes, cars, dancing to Hacksaw Jim Duggan's beat. Am I actually going to make it through this one? I hope so. Through One Piece music. I did it. Thanks, Hacksaw. But I only got 2 stars. I've never managed to get more than 2 stars on anything. But if you have a friend that has the same sort of musical taste as you can choose to challenge them from your game center and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea. Pick up something a little bit faster paced. You know, it's kind of, some tracks would be a little bit more challenging. So I mean, there's kind of that appeal of kind of going through your music library and kind of seeing, I wonder how this actually plays out. You know, I think some of like the music generated stuff even today, and there's actually a fair few games on iOS that kind of will generate levels based off songs, and it kind of works more with certain types of music than others, and this doesn't particularly feel like I'm playing along to a fucked up song, to be fair. It seems as, you know, it seems to kind of read this stuff better with electronic music, actually, and sort of high-tempo electronica does kind of work a lot better than what's going on here. So I don't know, it might be worth sort of experimenting with your own track list and seeing what kind of comes up for you. But yeah, it's not entirely perfect in any sense. It's not entirely perfect as a rhythm game. It's not entirely perfect as a running game. But it's, you know, it's decent and it's free and it's a nice idea. So yeah, it's worth checking out. It's Record Runner. It's out now on iOS. I think probably Android as well, or eventually. And yeah, you know, it's free, so, you know, what are you, tight or something? Yeah, you probably are playing free-to-play game, but yeah, anyway, Chris Charlton for KaijuPop.com, thanks for watching, bye-bye.